So this is the lineup. So it's like, this is the primary. I was a fabric boss yesterday. So this is my market junk drawer where I keep all this stuff. I left Hobby Lobby without spending any money. Hi friends, I'm Brittany, the maker behind Ginger Patch Designs, and this week's vlog is not what I had planned for you. I did a really awesome outdoor market this past weekend in Jackson, Tennessee called the Vintage Makers Mart, and I wanted to do a full outdoor market vlog. The market was such a vibe. It was fantastic, and it was a great experience, but I learned that trying to film at an outdoor market when I'm doing the market by myself is really, really challenging, and so that didn't happen. There was a lot of people walking around and stuff that had nothing to do with the market, and I was just really nervous about leaving my camera set up when I wasn't like right there with it like all the time. So instead I was like, well, let's just do a post-market routine vlog instead, because I didn't really realize that there was like a huge list of things that I do after every market, because it's just part of my routine. I don't even have any of this written down. So I'm just going to take you through the process of what I do after every market to prepare for the next market and running the online business. And then probably tomorrow, I'm finally going to share shipping supplies, like what I DIY, what I buy, where I buy it, all that good stuff. So this morning, I've already kind of been doing a lot of organizing. So the very first thing I do is there's obviously organizing to do when you get home. And through that organization process, I also do some inventory. Again, this is just what I do, and it works for me at the level of busy that I am in my business. That doesn't mean that if I do get busier that my systems will have to change and adapt because they're not working for me anymore. But for right now, I do a combination of like online inventory in my Etsy shop and my Shopify, but then there's other things that sell really well for me consistently at markets that don't sell online at all. And so I don't really adjust the inventory online, but I do adjust it for my own purposes on my iPad. If you watched last week's vlog, I went through like how I inventoried all my stuff on my iPad. You do not have to do this on an iPad if you don't have what's this called? iPad pencil. I literally used to use a sheet of paper or just a spreadsheet on a computer. But when I get home and as I'm organizing, I'm also double counting things, and then I will adjust my in-house inventory. And if you're thinking like, that sounds like you're just making more work for yourself. Again, for me, I have to go through and organize this stuff anyways. And I'm going to recount what I have on stock for plushies and apparel. Now, not that much apparel sold at this market, so I'm not going to count that. I'm literally just going to subtract what I remember sold, because only like 4 or 5 shirts and sweatshirts sold. Okay, here's how I do online versus what I track like on my iPad. So for all the sewing products that require fabric, zippers, all that kind of stuff, either I have it already made or I have the materials in-house to make it. That's how I do the quantities online for that. For things that I can just make on repeat, that I always have plenty of stock for, like any of the bookmarks, the dog bookmarks, the classic bookmarks, stickers, I literally will put those quantities way up there so I don't have to worry about it, because if I run out, I can just print more. I do not track at in-person markets all the individual dog breeds, all the individual types of stickers. It just says sticker. It just says MBM, magnetic bookmark, because especially when my husband is helping me, can you imagine him trying to scroll through my Square checkout to find the black German Shepherd way down there? I mean, no. No. And that's another reason when I go back through those when I get home, I can easily see when I'm re-alphabetizing them and putting them all back where they go, which is what I did last night. I can just see how many I have left. I have to reorganize them anyways, so it does not take me any more time to just inventory that real quick. Okay, crafty babes, if you're a mom, a grandma, an auntie, whatever it is, listen up because I have something really special to share with you. And if there's any men watching, I'm sorry, there's not usually men watching. This might be for you too. So I had a viewer send me some children's books that she authored, but they're not just any children's books. They are crafty, creative, specific children's books. And let me tell you, I was really excited after I read one of these, or my daughter read it to me, to share it with you. So last night my daughter and I read Sabella Can Sew, and basically these children's books combine creativity and valuable lessons. And as a former reading teacher, kids need character development and a great plot and a great theme. And these books really do a beautiful job combining all of those. Jackie Cano did an excellent job writing the stories. The artistry is really good. When you first open the book, the kids can write their name in there, and the cherry on top was that each of the books have an applicable Bible verse. For example, this one is about sewing, and the Proverbs verse kind of goes along with creating and sewing. I didn't see this when I was first flipping through the books, but there's coloring pages in the back. We also have Gabby Can Garden and Penny Can Paint. If you want to support Jackie and her books, I will leave her Amazon link down in the description. And just know that she also has a lot of lessons and homeschool resources to go along with the books that she writes. So I just want to thank Jackie one more time for sending my daughter these books. She really enjoyed the sew one. And then tonight she'll pick between the garden and the paint one. So this morning, before I exercised, I had a list of dog breeds to restock, which I've printed them. I won't finish making them today. They just take a long time to print. So I printed them. And then when I put my stickers back up here, I sold some, but I don't have to restock too many of those. So I wrote those down. It's nothing fancy, it's just a sheet of paper. For all the crochet items, the crochet kits and the crochet plushies, I do track those and the apparel, I do track those on my iPad. I used to do a spreadsheet, but I like something that I can have in my hand. That's why I like this or a sheet of paper a lot of the time, because I can just grab it. I know you can use Notion and you can pull up your Notion app anywhere, but I am an old school paper and pen girly, and so I think that's why I like using the iPad, because I can pick up the pen and just write with it instead of typing. I don't like to type my inventory. I like to write it. I guess I'm old. So after organizing and inventory, which I usually do the very next day, today is actually Wednesday because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like a dump truck on Monday because I was so sore. Okay, so I've been exercising regularly again, doing my little workouts. And so I exercised 5 times last week and I was already kind of sore. And then I stood on concrete for the entire show. If you are watching this and you are in your 20s, baby girl, go ahead and get a padded mat to stand on because your knees and your back will thank you. You can come back and thank me later. I was just really sore. I did random housekeeping things around the house, and I didn't really feel that bad about it because I did work all weekend. And then yesterday I took my sewing machine to get serviced, so I won't have my sewing machine for 1 to 2 weeks. And I just bought brand new fabric for a brand new project that's actually going to be for myself, for once. Anywho, back on track. The housekeeping things. Any batteries that need to be charged, we do that. Anything that needs to be reset or restocked so it's all ready to go when it's time to load up for the next market. I don't have another market for 3 weeks, and it's a small one. It's inside. It's at a church, really low key, but I still go through the same process. I already charged my Jackery, and then let me introduce you to my junk drawer. This is usually where my sewing machine is, so it's kind of nice to have this space for right now. So this is my Market junk drawer where I keep all the stuff. So it's really handy to have the trays on the bottom. This is where I keep the really large checkout bags. They are from Amazon. And I do fold them up, which sounds silly, but you know, I think they come in the package like this. And in order to fit them in here, I do take the time, like while I'm watching TV or something, and fold them up because it's just so much easier to have them in the trays like this. And then the second one, I have two different kinds of checkout bags. Okay, I have the basic clear ones. I just do clear bags for a few reasons that we'll talk about in just a second. And then I have the black ones. I got all of these on Amazon and they're in my storefront. Okay, so the reason I have a plastic instead of like the nice paper with the handles that a lot of makers have is cost. Like they're very nice, but they're very expensive. Now, if you have heavier products like candles and stuff, that's probably necessary, but I don't. I have very light products. And also I like the clear because people can see what's in the bag, especially with plushies. When I do bigger festivals or markets, you know, I'll have people say like they saw my kitties walking around and their kid wanted to come get one or something like that. And so I just find this really the best bang for my buck kind of thing. And this is something new that I started doing last year. I made this little thing in Canva with the QR code to my website instead of like giving every single person that comes through my business card, because a lot of people don't want it. This is a very, very cheap and easy and quick way to like make sure they have my website information in hand when they're done shopping in case they want to shop with me again later. The only reason I have the black ones, and these are thicker and a little more expensive, is because around the holidays, people want to hide stuff. They're shopping with their kids, and like one parent will like come back and try and be really sly and buy it. And so we have to have a way to hide stuff. So this way, like, I don't think I need to reorder bags. That's not going to go on the reorder list, but probably after the next market or two, I will need to order more. Oh wait, I take that back. I do need to order some more of these. So I order these little craft paper bags to put like the bookmarks and the stickers in, and then I just put my QR code sticker on the front. I was stamping all of these with my logo stamp, but I just liked the way the sticker looked better because sometimes the stamp, the ink doesn't come out all the way, and these come in packs of 100, and so I just thought for cohesiveness, the sticker was better. I do need to order some more of those. Okay, things I keep in the top junk drawer is business card holder. This is just a really cheap one from Amazon. And then in this baggie are the business cards, and I always have some kind of market promo with a market specific coupon. So that way I know if that customer came from a market interaction. Extra little safety pins for attaching prices. Extra apparel size stickers. I probably need to add to this. These are just blanket prices for things in case I lose a price thing or I forgot to make one. I need to make some more of those and put those in there. Extra safety pins, pens. I don't do chalkboard signs anymore, but whenever I did, I kept this in there. An extra hole punch if I need to make some price tags real quick. And my backup square reader. This one actually doesn't fit because I got a new phone, but I need to call Square and get a new one. But I always keep a backup Square payment option with me. As far as restocking, like if you want me to go into more depth about this in a different video, just let me know down in the comments. But here is my approach to restocking, or like how much to restock. It depends on when my next event is. And very often in the fall, when I have either back-to-back weekend events or they're only 2 weeks apart and they're big, I essentially prep for both of them at the same time. And that way I have a little bit of time in between them to restock, like things that sell out or whatever. Things that I know are going to sell, I just go ahead and restock it. Even though I don't have an event for a few more weeks, or I'm not really getting very many sales right now. If I know it's going to sell, then I go ahead and make some up. For example, apparel. I do not sell a lot of apparel online because like I'm just not an apparel business. I choose apparel designs that just kind of like match the vibe of the other stuff I have, like cozy or bookish or whatever. And in case someone asks, I do purchase most of those designs. The ones from the Blush and Boots collection, I did design those myself, but all the other ones you see, I do purchase and can reuse. I had two super popular sweatshirts last year. One of them was the cow one that I did in a giveaway on my YouTube channel back in the fall. The other one is this stay-at-home social club on a white sweatshirt. This, like, even though this market was like 70 something degrees, like we're getting into summertime, I still had people looking at it, and I think I sold one. But there were, the whole vibe of this market was like vintage finds. I misspoke in previous videos when I said it was handmade only. Like there were vintage thrift stores that were set up in stalls. Like it was so cool. It was such a vibe. Anywho, so there was a lot of vintage apparel things there, which I will make a note of that for next year. Like I might not even bring any apparel at all, maybe just a few bookish ones that match the bookish things that I have, because there's just so much other apparel there competing with each other. So we are getting into summer, so I'm not going to restock that social club one right now, but going into fall, like I'm just automatically gonna go ahead and make sure that one is well stocked, because I know people are like really gravitating towards that one. And I really hope people gravitate towards this one, the Blue Collar Wives Social Club. I think this is so cute. It's got little like hammers on it and screwdrivers. It's super cute. This brings me to my next point about reflecting how the market went. I talk about this in my market vendor series because we think we're going to remember a whole year later what we need to remember, but you know, if you have mom brain like me, you're not going to remember everything. So what I've started doing in my Notion, I have a document in there with just all the markets in it, so I can take notes as each market progresses. For example, for this market, the stall was really, really long. I didn't get any actual video footage, but I do have pictures that I'll show you. And we had plenty of space to spread out. They wanted us kind of towards the back of the booth and then work your way front, but people had plenty of room to spread out and shop. Like I actually didn't have enough display items to fill the booth space. And so that's something for me to remember for next year. And also something else, this was a very dog-friendly market. I have never seen so many dogs at an event, even more so than Reelfoot Lake that I do in September. It was a very dog-friendly event. So I'm definitely going to remember that for next year and make notes of that, because I do have like dog merch, like the dog bookmarks. So really make those more front and center for all the dog parents walking by. I did almost finish a new dragon last night. He needs his back legs. I get the Ammi sticks out to put those on so that they're straight with the eyes. I think I should put another spike like right here. He seems like he's missing. Yeah, I should put another one right there. It looks so empty back here without my sewing machine. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself for 2 weeks without a sewing machine. It's just getting cleaned. My baby is not broken. It's just getting cleaned an hour away. But this is gonna force me to do several like businessy housekeeping things that I've been procrastinating on. I don't know what it is about me, but like it takes me so long to get something done. Things like you know on Instagram where people have like the link tree in their profile and you just click on it and then it has like all their links on there, right? I've moved that in my Notion probably 4 times. Why can't I get it done? Like it's not a priority. It's not super duper important and pressing that I get that done, but it's stuff like that. Like it just takes me so long sometimes to get something done. I mean, I'm a one-woman show over here. I'm doing the best I can, but it irritates me at times that it takes me forever. If you watched my fabric tag video a few vlogs back, there's been some questions about those. So let me go over those real quick. So this is the bow keychain wallet that I've been using myself. And several people have asked about fraying. Like through all my sewing, nothing was fraying. And then somebody asked, well, like, what about after you wash it? And I was like, I don't know. Let me find out. So I washed this. I just threw it in the washing machine. It came out like literally exactly the way I sewed it. I let it air dry, and there was, I'm not gonna lie, I left it on there. I did not pick it off. There was a little string right here coming out, and you probably can't see it in the video, but there is a little bit of fraying on the underside, and there was a little bit of bleed on the labels. Now that could be because I used all black. I think I also put this in a hot wash. I just remembered. I bet if I'd put it on cold wash, it would not have done that. Cold wash. So that's something that I need to add to the care tags. Let me write that down. If I had read the directions literally say in the package, wash with cold water and don't tumble dry. Well, I didn't dry it, but I put it in a hot wash. So don't put it in a hot wash. The bleed's really not that bad, and this is mine. So the tag itself, like the front of the tag, is not frayed. The edges of the tag are not frayed. What's frayed is the underside. So the little sliver where, you know, the stitching is right here, this little sliver right here that's like not even 1/8 of an inch, the back side of that is what has a string coming off. You can see the string. This is making me all the more glad that I put them on the inside. If after a wash, a hot wash at that, I wasn't supposed to do hot wash, just one string is coming off, I don't think that's that bad. Like, what do you think? Speaking of things I've been putting off, I need to take pictures of a bunch of these bookmarks, these new breeds and colors that I probably made 2 weeks ago. And I still haven't taken pictures, so I can work on those listings sometime this evening. But before I do, I want to show you what I got yesterday at Hancock's. If you sew and you have not discovered Hancock's of Paducah, Hancock's used to have like retail locations years ago apparently, and this is the only one left. When I was in there, there was a woman that her and her husband make a trip like every year from Wisconsin, and they always go to this fabric store. I mean, she had a giant stack of fabric. But anyways, it's a warehouse of designer fabrics. Robert Kaufman, Moda, Andover. They have like giant rolls of quilt backing, like the really, I think it's like 90 inches instead of 42 or 44. They have like jelly rolls, pre-cuts, and they ship online as well. I find it really hard to like look for new fabric online because there's just so much to sift through and keywords and stuff. So what I did is when I found collections that I really liked, I took a picture of them, and then I took a picture like on the top of the boards that has the UPCs and the brand and all of that. So if I do want to go order it, I can find it very easily. But first of all, I feel like I should get some credit because I only spent $90. And I put fabric back that was in my cart at the checkout. But here's the first one, and the first thing that I make in this is going to be for me. It's like a small checkered purple. Look at this purple floral. I mean, we all love a good pink floral, right? But purple is my favorite color, and I just love it. I tried to find a green that would kind of match a little bit, but I'm just going to stick with the two because I couldn't find a not solid green that didn't clash with the florals of this one. And then I'm probably going to keep whatever I make in this one as well. So this is the lineup. So it's like, this is the primary. I love how it's got pink and purple, and then it offsets with some like mustard colors. And then here's the matching. Here's the other matching. And then I just got some Kona Solid purple. I'm going to use this Kona Solid purple with the other purple set as well. I had such self-control. I actually went in with a plan with the pattern was in my head at the time. And then when I got home, I put it on paper. And what I put back, I didn't have a plan for yet. So I was a fabric boss yesterday. I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of what's coming in the next few weeks. It's going to take several weeks because my sewing machine is not with me right now. But can you guess what's coming? This was like the third one. It took me 3 tries to get it right, but this is what's coming. Any guesses? It's not a quilt. For market vlogs, I usually like to give like, I call them stats, like a rundown of what the market is. But I didn't get to do that. So the fee was $150 for a 2-day, 10-hour total market. And it was in Jackson, Tennessee, which is a more populated area. I expected a higher level of traffic, and there was a higher level of traffic. I was very satisfied overall with the event. So with that being said, this was a really great event to kind of gauge interest on new products. So here's the complete rundown of what sold and what didn't sell. So I sold a total of 76 bookmarks and stickers. I do not keep up with which is which because I do it where you can get a single bookmark or a sticker, the regular bookmarks, not the magnetic or the corner fabric ones, just regular classic bookmarks. Or you can do like a 4 for $10 type deal. And I ring them up the same. So 76 bookmarks and stickers, 2 corner bookmarks, 4 chubby chickens, 8 bitty kitties, 4 turtles, 2 mice, 4 chubby cows, 4 Odin dragons, 2 Yodas, 1 snake, 1 crochet keychain, 3 crochet kits. I was very surprised by that, but that was encouraging. 25 magnetic bookmarks, 2 phone wallets. That was something new that I was trying, and I did not do a good job of like showing those. They were kind of mixed in with the magnetic bookmarks, so I don't think people could see them. I sold 1 AirPods case, 2 bow keychain wallets, 6 flat bow pouches, 4 jumbo boxy bags, 1 tall quilted boxy bag, 2 keychains, 1 purse pouch, and 5 sweatshirts or shirts. So whenever I'm looking at like what sells best, I don't really include classic bookmarks, stickers, or the dog magnetic bookmarks because those numbers are always much higher. So as far as crochet, what sold the best? Kitties, but like I sold a little bit of everything, and same with the quilted sewing stuff. Like I sold a little bit of everything. I actually sold the most of the higher dollar items, the flat bow pouch and the jumbo quilted boxy pouch. So what I'm gonna take from that is the sewing stuff is trendy. People are liking it. People are vibing with it. I'm going to prep for that for the fall, but I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not gonna like over prep yet. I don't have any other big markets planned until the fall, and as of right now, and so I'm just gonna like tentatively plan for that. Another problem, when I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, their shelves were noticeably scant. So I don't know if that has anything to do with current economic goings on. Wink, wink. We're not going to talk about it. But the 4 fabrics that I went in there to get to restock, I ended up having to take them off the website because I don't have any more fabric. They didn't have any of them, which has never happened before. I left Hobby Lobby without spending any money. Words I never thought would come out of my mouth. Hi friends, I'm actually going to end the video right here and make the shipping a part 2 that I will put out on Thursday because this video is already getting kind of long and I haven't even started talking about the shipping yet. And so come back Thursday for part 2 where I show you all of the shipping supplies. Friends, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you on Thursday.